How to use the thermophysical properties of matter database by CINDAS LLC. From the Applications page, choose the TPMD. On the first page, you will be given the option to search or browse. First, browse by material group. Clicking on the drop-down box will allow you to see all of the material groups which are in the database. There are 79 different material groups in the database. Use the scroll bar to choose material. Choose copper alloys. There are 82 different copper alloys. Choose copper plus nickel alloys. Click on the drop-down box to show the 7 different properties of this material in the TPMD. Choose thermal linear expansion versus temperature. Clicking on the Show Graph option will give you the first material in the list. The selection list of curves will be shown. There may be multiple curves for that material. In this case, there are 61 curves. Select the first 4 curves by holding down the Control key and clicking on the desired data curves. Each curve will be in a different color. The scales on the axes will automatically adjust if the ranges of data are not similar. Clicking on the Show Text button in the upper right will give you the text showing test conditions and individual data points. Each curve will have its own text shown. If multiple curves have the same references, they will be shown in one group. Scrolling to the bottom of the page will show the references. To return to the graph, simply click the Show Graph button. If you desire to change the units on either axis, you may use the unit conversion option. The temperature can be changed to any of the other 3 temperature scales. This option is provided to the right of the property name. The y-axis can also be changed to other units for this property. For example, change percent to parts per million. The graph will automatically reset itself to reflect the changes in units. To expand the data points on the graph, click and hold as you draw the cursor around a box around the portion of the graph of interest. You may repeat this process multiple times to zoom in more closely on portions of the curve. To return to the original graph, click on Reset Zoom. The hovering cursor also allows the user to see the X and Y values of each data point without going back to the text page. To distinguish between curves, the box around the values will be in the same color as the data point. You may select or deselect curves to be shown by clicking on the curve in the box to the right of the graph. To export the graph or to print the graph, icons are to the right of the graph. Clicking on each will give the user the option of various formats to use. To browse by property group, choose the Start Over link in the upper right-hand corner. Use the drop-down box to show the 4 property groups in the database. Choose Thermophysical Properties. From the drop-down menu of 22 different thermophysical properties, choose the coefficient of thermal linear expansion. Then choose the independent variable of temperature. Clicking on Show Graph will show the number of different materials in the database. In this case, 663 materials. You can compare 2 or more materials for the same property from the list of material names. Choose the first 4 materials shown. Each data curve has a short description of its parameters. Then select the desired curves. In this case, choose the first 5 curves. The graphs of those materials will be displayed. As before, you may change the units. You may also zoom in and change the range. You can also select or deselect by clicking on the curve names in the box on the right. To search by material name or partial name, start over and enter the partial name. Type in AL and hit the Enter key. A list in the database of 1,759 items has the AL sequence. Notice that you also get calcium sulfate and coal as choices. Entering more letters of the name will reduce the size of the list. Typing in aluminum reduces the list to 380 materials. To search by property name or string, enter the partial name. Type in TH and hit Enter. There are 11 properties in the drop-down box. Choose thermal diffusivity and an independent variable of temperature. Showing graph will give the graphs and availability of the 394 substances having this combination.